Hi Aquarians, this is the Ivy League Astrologer with the March 2015 reading for Vedic Aquarius. So the first card out for Vedic Aquarians is the Ten of Wands in reverse. This looks to me like you may have realized you were on a wrong path. I was saying that for another sign this month also. Maybe Scorpio. Or just that the path you're on, while it is giving you what you want or what you thought you wanted, it's not, it's like the home that you're looking for is still obscured from your vision, you know? Like it's like, you're like, oh, awesome, like I finally making six figures, or I'm with like this person who I thought was the most beautiful person or whatever. But it's like, while you're even kind of smelling the flowers of that accomplishment, I feel like you're still like, yeah, but I don't really see how this that I have here is getting me to what I want in the future. And I kind of don't want to admit it maybe, but I'm just not, these things are not in line. Like what I have now is not going to get me to where I want to go. But again, I feel like wherever you are, whatever you're doing is something you've worked for and that you felt like was a gift to be able to get you there. So it seems like something you couldn't refuse in a way. But yeah, it's not really working out the way you had hoped. Like what you thought would bring you real happiness is only bringing you the appearance of happiness or something like that. And I feel like this month you may be willing to sort of strike out on a new path with faith that it will lead you to where you need to go. And I think you may be pretty excited about it too. And I think that moving forward in that way means breaking some old habits that have held you back. And kind of letting your guard down to seeing a new vision of the future in which you don't have to play the same role that you have played before. And in which maybe your woundedness can be your strength. I'm not sure if that's going to be relevant for everybody, but there's something here about a wound and like an old wound that you keep going back to, basically. But it seems like you may have the potential or feel the potential to kind of free yourself from that this month. And so I feel like you're kind of looking out over your kind of vista to figure out what your next step is. And I think you're taking some time to just kind of see it in your mind, see what you want to happen in your mind before you move towards it. But I see you being pretty excited about it and pretty committed to newness. Okay, as I'm saying that. So yeah, I think that even as you're like, yeah, I feel like you definitely feel like there's a bright future to be had, and you are excited to get there. I think it may not be practical to act on it immediately, but you may kind of start sending out feelers or something to kind of start inching yourself towards where you would like to be. And one of these may be really successful, may kind of get you an offer that you can't refuse. Or an offer that makes you kind of stand up, get up, and move on. to move forward from the kind of contemplation of this future path into emotion, into something more concrete. A concrete movement towards it. And this may be something that is, you know, I see you being quite fixed in your progress towards this thing, but it may be something that other people are saying, like, you know, maybe you should take your time. Are you sure? Maybe you're leaving behind a group of people that you care about or that have supported you, or it feels like this is kind of riding off alone, you know, and so people may just want to, you know, figure out why you're doing it, kind of. But I think, you know, you've kind of done all that you need to do with whatever this thing is that's not working out the way you thought. And I see you feeling pretty peaceful about it. Yeah, I feel like you're done fighting to like hack out a life that has not been easy for you to do or something, you know, like not like everything that's like good things take hard work, but I feel like you have maybe been thwarted in this path for a reason and kept fighting forward anyway. And so it's like you're kind of done fighting against the tide or something, and you're willing to like open up a bit more, open your mind a bit more to kind of where you're being placed, like what you're supposed to be doing, what you're called to do, what you're being called back to in some cases, but whatever the call is on you from kind of above. I feel like you are very open to hearing that this month. And it may mean turning away from the things of the world. Or turning away from some concept of the world that you had held supreme for a long time, and moving instead into something richer. And exciting, for sure, yeah. It's interesting because I feel like this is like kind of maybe this is just more about the idea of whatever you thought the idea of what would make you happy before you're kind of leaving behind. But I feel like you're really excited about this new thing that you're pursuing. And you feel supported in it. Even though back here I was seeing people kind of saying like, are you sure? Or explain to me why you're doing this again? Which you may not be able to explain fully, but I feel like you're going to be well received, I think, is what it is, really. Because I think you're going to be well received in this path once you start concretely on it. And some seeds that you weren't even entirely necessarily aware that you were planting are going to be ripening and coming to fruit. They're going to be like coming... Yeah, I feel like you're coming to a harvest time for something that has not been maybe your main focus, but that you realize, like if you're moving out of one career and into another, that you realize you've actually been preparing yourself for this other career in all these other small ways, and that you're actually more prepared than you thought to kind of undertake this new thing. That's kind of what I'm seeing for that. Although there may still be stuff that's hidden about your new direction that you may... you know, find out in good time. Yeah, and I think this again is just symbolizing like an ending to an old situation that's been both kind of supporting and imprisoning you. It's like you have gotten to a point where you don't need it anymore, and you're ready to let it go, but it's still painful to let it go. So I see you kind of working through that at the end of the month. maybe kind of asking yourself a bit too late, like, is this really what I want to do? As you're already sort of ejected out of the building, you know. Like, but I think it seems like this is the direction for you. But you may need to take some time to really be sure of that. Or not to be sure of it even, but just to kind of, you know, yeah, I feel like you're definitely on the right path. You're going in the right direction. But you may have a moment or two this month of loss, where you just feel like, oh my gosh, but this thing that has been supporting me for so long, or this thing that I've worked towards, and I just let it go, and it felt good to let it go, but now I'm realizing that maybe I really needed that, or that's really painful. But your way is forward for sure. I think you've been led to do what you're doing for the right reasons. It's just that there may be some bumps in the road where you're feeling scared about it, and you need to kind of defend your ground even to yourself before you're ready to fully step forward. But in good time, this will come to where it needs to be. I think take it slow. Allow it to grow in your hands slowly. And it will move forward and be the opening that you need. But again, you need to kind of, especially if it's reconciling two parties, you need to kind of take it really slowly. Or just nurture it in such a way that it's not moving too quickly, but is being grounded at every level. It has the feeling, if it's between two people, of being sort of like an old-fashioned correspondence or something, where you write letters and get to know each other that way, or speak that way for a while, and kind of have that stronger connection before you build on it. So in whatever way that can be related to what you're working with. Okay, but there's some very positive cards that follow from that. So yeah, it seems like listening to your intuition, while it may be seeming to lead you astray, is actually really leading you to where you need to go. It's just going to take some work and time to get there. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Aquarians, for this month. And yeah, I hope that's helpful. Please feel free to get in touch if you would like a personal reading. The information is below. And happy March. Yay!